So all of us receive feedback differently. Here's an example of how I have received feedback when I was first hiring into General Motors almost 12 years ago. So even though I studied engineering, my previous position was not related to the engineering field at all. So when I was in the interview with the General Motors hiring manager, he asked me why anyone would hire me with no prior engineering experience. So I declared to him very confidently, saying, because they know I can do the job. So because of my confidence and ability to react to his question assertively, I impressed the hiring team and have been employed with General Motors for almost 12 years. So look at your life and see how you can react to feedback. How can you create winning moments in your own life by mastering the ability to receive feedback? Sometimes information coming at us may not feel that it's credible, or that it's based on inaccurate information, or that the advice will do you more harm than good. Feedback may not be diplomatic or constructive at times. However, with the right tools, we can empower ourselves to receive this type of information and be more inclusive of others' perceptions of ourselves. Because in order to receive feedback, in order to give feedback, the first step is to be able to master the skill at receiving feedback. So I'll give you an example of when I first experienced the pixie dust of Disney. So even though I'm a first-generation American-born citizen, due to my very strong cultural and low-income upbringing and the illiteracy of my parents, English is my second language. So I was first drastically challenged on my communication and professional skills with my first professional employer, Walt Disney World, in Orlando, Florida. The leaders at the time told me that I'm not smart, I'm not sharp, and I'm late all the time. So I had a choice at this time. Either I can see the situation as though I'm being punished, or that I can learn and grow from it. Since while my parents did not teach me the communication skills I needed, they did teach me to be curious and open and try to learn as much as I can out of every moment. For that reason, I was able to turn the criticism around and deliver high-quality projects on time, leaving my internship on very favorable terms with my leaders and peers. So I challenge you to take the same action for yourself and how you can see the advantage of the information that's around you as a gift. I guarantee when you start doing this, you'll see that everything surrounding you has a benefit and goodness, because at the end of the day, the things that bring you hardship are the very same things that propel you to success. So I'd like to level set in how we think of feedback, since traditionally it's more thought of just as dialogue in feedback forms. However, feedback can be tangible or intangible with nonverbal communications as well. So for example, a toddler learning to walk, maybe the toddler runs into a wall or falls, and they have to condition themselves to feel that feedback tangibly to figure out how to get from point A to point B. Or reading a book, like How to Win Friends and Influence People. And that might impact us on how we interact with the people around us. So with a show of hands, how many of you would say that feedback has helped you improve at work, school, at home, or other environments? Yeah? Yeah, so most of us, if not all of us, have benefited from feedback. Since feedback can be tangible and intangible with just observation, whether how that environment impacts you and how you impact that environment. So let's look at these 4 steps on how we can receive feedback to help us even improve our lives even more. So step number 1, acknowledge the gift, thank the giver, assume the giver has something of value to share with you. Step number 2, open and assess the gift. Investigate what the messenger's trying to say. If you don't open the package of the message and fear it due to thinking that you might be bamboozled with what they're trying to tell you, you'll never receive the reward in what they're trying to tell you. So instead, try to come from a place of openness and curiosity and ask questions such as, where's the value in what they're saying? Where's the gift here? What can I learn from what they're saying? What did I say or do that might have created any misperception? What can I do to ensure the feedback is addressed? And try to stay open, just keep asking the questions until you discover what they're trying to tell you. And try not to defend or explain yourself, because once you start doing that, you lose the opportunity to find the true reward in what they're trying to tell you. Step number 3, confirm the nature and the value of the gift. Put into words what you understood, the message is trying to tell you, and ask if you understood it correctly. This really helps the other person feel understood and less defensive on their end. Step number 4, use the gift. Take action. If you can see the value in what they're trying to tell you, let the giver know. And it doesn't have to be through direct dialogue. It can just be through implemented behaviors or some way to show how that feedback has made a positive impact on you. And if you don't accept what they're trying to say, you can still just say thank you and put it on the shelf and set it aside. You might use it later, you don't know. This closing of the loop with the feedback messenger really helps establish trust, collaboration, and partnership. And these 4 steps can be used for gaining from any type of feedback, whether it's criticism or positive feedback. Some people have a hard time receiving positive feedback and have a hard time just saying thank you without explanation. So these 4 steps can be used for any type of feedback. So sometimes feedback is not given just in formal settings. Sometimes it's given to us just as information and catches us off guard. So let's try to think of ways how we can receive solicited or unsolicited feedback. And let's talk through a scenario here. So the scenario here is where a peer tells you nicely, your work is awful. And this peer could be a roommate telling you that the way you fold your socks is terrible, or your classmate is telling you that your portion of a team project is inaccurate, it was not done right. Or that your boss tells you that the promotion that you've always wanted, you're not ready for. So how would you respond to that? And you can choose more than one option, whatever resonates with you. By show of hands, and we'll go through this one by one. So how many of you would choose A? I'd like to understand your viewpoint as a response to this scenario. Yeah, so some show of hands. How many of you would choose B? I've been wanting to improve on this. Yeah, showing some vulnerability there. And then how about C? Thank you for making me aware of this. Yeah, so. And then how about D? Why are you the way you are? So of course, all of these are acceptable for receiving the gift and feedback, except for maybe the last one. I appreciate everyone's honesty. So think about how you might implement this into your life. How can we create this culture of open feedback? I would encourage you to talk to the people that are close to you and share your thoughts and ideas around this. This is really just the start of your journey on exploring feedback and igniting the conversation of how we can compassionately and intuitively receive the information around us to help us improve our daily lives and just the quality of our life. Thank you so much.